Michelle Nesky, the Posh PA, and I'm going to continue my interview series today with how to tackle a group or panel interview for PA school. Now, I've been doing some videos on PA school interview formats and different types of PA school interview techniques and strategies that you can use on this channel to be successful in your interview. So if you haven't already, go check those out. In addition, I'm here every week dropping new videos to help you get into PA school, become a successful student, and a fulfilled practicing PA. So I need you to smash this subscribe button right here so you are not missing a beat. Okay, so group interviews. I know, for some people it can be really hard and it can be intimidating. A group interview means that you will be grouped with other students and interview with either one or two people in the PA program admissions committee, right? So that's a group interview. A panel interview is where it's you in front of the admissions committee panel fielding questions from different people. So that's the difference between a group and a panel. And you could even have a group panel interview, which is where you are coupled with a couple of different interview attendees, so a couple of other students, and a couple of admissions committee faculty. So it could be a combination of the two as well. Nonetheless, these strategies should help you be successful in either format. Now, a group interview can be harder for people who tend to have quieter or more introverted personalities, as they don't tend to speak up as often, and it can be very intimidating. What I can tell you is that in a group interview, you want to make sure that you're making eye contact with everybody in the group and that you learn everybody's name and that you're referencing their answers in your answers. It shows that you're listening and that you can be part of a team, and that also you can bounce different ideas and opinions off of your other interview attendees. Now, one of the questions I get asked a lot about a group interview is, what if someone takes my answer? Well, that's fine. You just want to build upon that answer. Or you can say, well, you know, Michelle, I agree with you. And I think that yada, 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 right? So you can expand upon another person's answer if you feel that they had a similar answer that you are going to answer a question with. Or try to think quickly of a different angle you can take while also referencing that person by name, okay? So if the question is, you know, how do you think you can be a leader as a PA, and you're going around the group and each person in the group is answering, and you feel that John said a very similar answer than you could say, well, actually, I really agree with John. I want to be a PA leader and advocate for state legislature and really get involved in the more political aspect of the profession. I believe I can do that through my state PA organizations and getting involved as a student in this program and becoming a student liaison and really feeling like I can build those network connections and building blocks to become a leader in my profession. So definitely reference that person's answer and then build upon it. Now, a group interview may not be targeted questions. It may be a group activity where you are going to be asked to work as a team to come up collectively with an answer to a problem. And so sometimes these can be translated into the work environment, and they will ask you that at the end of the activity. So for example, you may be asked to prioritize the top 10 things that you would take off a sinking ship. And as a collective group, you have to agree on what 10 items you will take and prioritize them from the most important, number 1, to number 10, the least important. And you have to agree on each one being at their certain ranking. And then at the end of that, you may be asked how that translates into a real world setting. And it does, because that in any setting that you're asked to do something with a team, you're gonna have to work together and compromise and communicate and give your reasoning behind what you're doing and why you're choosing those things in any patient scenario that you're gonna encounter in the future. You know, whether you're working in a hospital setting or a clinic setting, you're really part of team-based care. And so that can always translate out into different group activities during a PA school interview. Now, during a group activity, they want to see you being engaged. They want to see you speaking up and giving your opinions and reasoning. They want to see you being able to work with other people, being kind, talking clearly, not being over the top. You don't want to be, super bossy or too much, but you want to be participatory, and you want to make sure that the team ultimately is going to make a decision that you can all agree on. And that definitely translates into real life. So be aware that a group interview may include a group activity. All right. Now, group activities, I know a lot of times people will be like, oh, cringy, but it's actually much easier when you start getting into the activity itself and you start interacting with the other students, and that you can really come up with different things and really reason with each other, learn each other's opinions, different backgrounds, different perspectives, to come up with a solution to whatever problem that you've been given. So definitely work as part of the group. You want to be communicative, you want to be interactive, you want to be using other people's names. If it's a group activity or if it's an individual group question, you always want to be referencing other people, making sure that you are also getting your opportunity to answer the question. If you are in a situation where you feel that one person is dominating the conversation and you are not able to get your time to speak, I would use that opportunity to politely speak up and say, excuse me, I think that we all deserve an opportunity to give our opinions, and I think you've had enough time to kind of answer the question. I'd like to offer my opinion if that's okay. Politely interject, or just say, hey, to whoever's talking, hey, John, I really value your opinions and I think you've given an amazing answer, but I also think it's really important for the rest of us to be able to speak and really give our opinions and viewpoints to the admissions committee. So I think I'll go next. Something like that. Now that can be really hard to do and you don't want to come off as overbearing, but at the same time, you do want to get your opportunity to speak. So be polite, say, excuse me, John, I love your points. I think it's been an amazing answer to this question, but I think it's fair that we all get to answer and share our views with the admissions committee. I think I'll go next. Something like that to kind of break that tone. And you got to be brave enough to do that if it happens. It doesn't happen very often. Most people are respectful of other people's time. Make sure you get your opportunity to speak. You don't want to lose it. This is your chance to show an admissions committee why you should be part of their program. And you can't do that unless you get your opportunity to speak. Okay, so those are some of my tips and strategies for group interviews. As far as panel interviews are concerned, they tend to be more traditional type interview questions, and you've probably prepared a little bit for them. The more intimidating factor is that you're doing it in front of a panel of people. Now, oftentimes these people are going to have different personalities and react differently to your answers. Sometimes they may not react at all and may be more stoic looking. Make sure you stay comfortable and confident in yourself and in your answers. You may get, one question from somebody that's a student, you may get one question from somebody that's a faculty member, and you may have to sort of adjust your answer based on who's asking you the question. And I think that's really important to think about as well. Be sure to do your research on the faculty before you go into any panel interview process. If the program has given you the names of the people that are going to be interviewing, please do your research on them and see what their background is. It's always great to have a little personal connection if you can with somebody in a panel situation, or just to even show that you've done your research, you're invested in this program, you really learned about them and you took the time to do that, and it shows through in your interview. Now, not every program will give you their interview format and structure. A lot will give you a layout for the day and tell you what type of interview that you're going to have, whether it's group, panel, MMI, traditional interview, how long that's going to be, and what else is included. Whereas others are a little less clear on how they're going to run the day. So you really need to be prepared for any type of interview going into the PA school interview process. So again, group and panel interviews can really be in different formats. You can be with a group of students and doing a group activity. You can be with a group and answering questions from the admissions committee. You can be with a panel by yourself or with a group. Really important to be engaging with the other people at the interview, doing your research beforehand to get yourself prepped and ready to go. having good eye contact, referencing those people by name, making sure you get your chance to speak and shine, because this is your opportunity. Now, if you have not already, like I said before, please check out the other videos in this interview series to really get yourself familiar with the types of interviews you may be encountering during your PA school interview process. And of course, as always, practice makes perfect in this situation. I shouldn't say practice makes perfect. Practice makes professional, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's not gonna go perfectly. You have to expect that there's gonna be some stumbles and mistakes, and you're only human, okay? So do not beat yourself up about that. But if you practice, you can recover from any stressors or any questions that kind of are throwing you off the wall quicker, because you've practiced this and you're comfortable with your reaction and how to make that transition. We can definitely help you with that at the Posh PA. We offer one-on-one mock interviews to help you through any type of interview process and really get you prepared for the big day. You can check that out on michellenesky.com, and I will see you next time.